We're going to ask the question, is the BMW E39 the best car ever made? Today we're out and about in our BMW 528i E39 and we're going to ask the question, is this the best car ever made? Is this the high water mark of automobiles? Like automobiles for normal people, for a good value, for a car anybody can buy. BMW E39s have been available for £2,000, €2,000, $2,000 for 10 years. You know, they made stacks of them, and whatever flavour you want, petrol, diesel, auto, manual, touring. This is a touring. This is a 528i touring, 1999, with the M52 TU engine. So it's technical update, double Vanos. We're out on a little test drive because we have just replaced the head gasket on this car. It has some overheating issues. This car's from 98, I can't remember, 98 or 99 I just said. So I think this is probably the first time the cooling system in this car has been refreshed. This was a one owner car before I bought it. I'm the second owner. The car has 113,000 miles on it, which is relatively low miles for these. Like, if you're searching the classifieds for one in Europe, they have astronomical miles on them, but by the time they get to this age, 250, 300 or more. So to find one with 100,000, 113,000 miles, 180,000 kilometers, you know, it sounds like a lot of miles, but really these cars are built tough and built to last. You know, you could have, this could have been a Dusseldorf taxi and could have 500,000 miles on it, and other than the seats being a bit stinky, I don't think it would be much worse than this. This car is an auto. I have another one that is a manual, a saloon, but it is not in as nice condition as this. This car came from an old gentleman. He had kept it at his holiday home in Tuscany in France, in Italy, and he had bought it from new, and he'd only used it when he was going on his holidays. I bought it in 2023, so it had a really pampered life. When we took the head off it to do the cooling system, inside the valve cover, everything was really clean, not a ton of black sludge. The guy had obviously like serviced the car every year. He hadn't put stacks of miles on it. What had he done? 5,000 or 6,000 miles a year in it, and he'd obviously serviced it every year, once a year. So it was like dream spec, and it's like you're driving along in this car. This car has the optional rear air suspension. I'm driving along in this car, and it is silent. You get on the motorway in this car and it's cruising, you know, at 70 miles an hour, 120 kilometers an hour, and it's whisper quiet, right? And it's, the ride is so nice, it's so smooth. This car, I have put some e-back lowering springs on the front and some I just bent the links on the rear to fool it into changing the ride height. It's like the cheapest lowering of a car ever. Just, I think the front springs were 100 odd euros or something, and just bending those rear links, and that's dropped the car down, and it's on some AC Schnitzers Type 2s, and it's sitting beautifully. It's got a lovely stance. It's a really nice deep blue metallic. I'm not sure what the name of the colour is, but it's a really, really nice dark blue metallic. But you know, the interior hasn't fallen to bits. The interior, people say, oh, this generation E36s have shit interiors. This 5 Series has an interior that's built like a tank, right? The seats, the driver's seat's a little bit worn under the bum, but it's you know, the bolsters are good. Everything is really nice on this car. How are we going to get round this here? Some farming's going on. Some people farming. Here we are by a lettuce farm. They have some nice red frizzy lettuce, and these two elderly ladies are loading up their tractor with their lettuces off to the market. That's pretty nice. But they're also parked in the middle of the road. So now they've pulled over to the side. Thank you very much. Nice old ladies picking all their lettuce. Quite a lot of lettuce there. I suppose lettuce is like a good thing to farm because like it's expensive, fancy lettuce, and it grows fast. You're not waiting months and months for your potatoes to ripen. You're just like every week or so harvesting fresh lettuce. Anyway, back to the BMW E39. Enough lettuce chat. Even lowered, this car, right, is so smooth, and with putting bigger wheels on it. It's got 18. These wheels are 18s. We're in like country back roads, and it's not crashy. You can still hit bumps in the road, potholes. It doesn't bang. It doesn't crash over bumps. And the interior, there's no squeaks, no rattles. No buttons have fallen off of this one. The bolsters are good on the seats. Everything works. Nothing is broken. It's just a really well built, still in great condition car. And like, how many cars from 1998 or 1998 are still in like good condition? You could think that this car was 5 years old, and you know, there's no signs that it's almost 30 years old. The engine pulls sweet. The auto box is a bit slushy, but it's like this is a cruiser. Do you know what I mean? This is just window down, arm out. The air conditioning still works, but I hate air conditioning, so I like to drive with the windows down. And I think any of these aged cars that are going to go through some head gaskets and some cooling systems, they have like plastic in tanks on the radiator, and they all perish. But when we did the head gasket, we redid all of the engine hoses, everything. New radiator, new water pump. I didn't change the van or seals because it's like no rattle. The engine is silent. The engine doesn't make the singlest bit of metal on metal noise. It's super quiet. It doesn't leak. It's never leaked any engine oil. The power steering's nice. It's like, what car are you going to buy now? Or what car are you going to have bought in the last 15 years that you think in 30 years is going to hold up this well and be this reliable and be this easy to keep on top of? Like, I've done like 20,000 miles in this car since I bought it, and other than the radiator going in the car overheating, we have not had a single problem. I've just redone the head, everything's done now, and this is our first drive, and the temperature is perfect, bang, rock on the middle, rock centre. It's like, the annoying thing is I filled this car up with petrol just before it broke down, and it's been sitting in the shed for ages while we got round to fixing it. So I basically had a full tank of 98 sitting in this car for about 6 months, which is like, it's nice when you get back in it and you go, oh, a full tank of petrol, that's a nice treat. But like, it just goes. Yeah, think about what's new, what's a new car. I don't know, I'm never in new cars. This is not one of the newest cars I own, but it's like, it's in the middle of the age of what I drive around in, and I don't think it's the ride and the silence in the car It's like, why does everybody says, oh, cars are too hard. Cars are too hard and too crashy. This car just makes no noise, right? I'm sure maybe not all the bushes, maybe some of the bushes and things have been changed, but this car probably has its original bushes in it, you know what I mean? And it's like quality. I have a couple of E36s, and yes, they are a bit tinnier and a bit shittlier made inside, but this thing was built well and value. Like, if I'm going to buy a new 5 Series, a new comparable 5 Series to this, what am I going to be paying a month? I'm going to be paying in 3 or 4 months of finance, not including the entry, for what this car costs. I paid £2,000 for this car, right? And this car has zero rust. One of the issues with these cars is they do rust. This car has zero rust, not a single bit. Underneath the car, no rust. I've had the bumpers off, no rust. This car is immaculate, right? And I know that's like a rarity in these cars, but if you find the right one, what does a new car give you over this? Okay, this car is a little bit thirsty, yeah. We can definitely say it's a little bit thirsty, but it's like, I'm not putting it anywhere, but just driving around, just cruising around in it. I just use it for daily back and forth, and yeah, it's thirsty. If you're doing 300-400 miles a week, but I was driving around in a Land Rover Series 3 recently for a couple of months. That's thirsty, you know, can't be any thirstier than this. I think this just seems less thirsty because you drive it even slower than you drive this, right? But it's not that you have to drive this car, so you can drive this car, but you can be, I drove this car from Britain to Spain, and I can tell you, on the motorway, long day, I did it in one hit. I left London, took the tunnel, and just drove non-stop on my own to Barcelona, like through the night. The roads were empty, and this car, of course I was tired, but I wasn't like broken having to get out the car or anything. I could just literally stop, get petrol, get something to drink and coffee, and go again, and the car got me there. And you know, fast cruising, of course this car's built for fast cruising. It's a German saloon from the 90s, like that's what they do, and this one does it so well. I tell everybody, I'm like an evangelist for E39 BMWs. I want an E39 M5 so badly, right? But again, the few I've seen, a little bit rusty, all leggy miles, you know, they're not as cheap as they were. They're getting a little bit up there in price these days, and you know, anyone you're looking at is going to have in the hundreds of thousands of miles at the price I'm going to want to pay. I'm not going to want to pay 50, 60,000 for one. I'm going to want one I can drive, but you're getting into the hundreds of thousands of miles in them, and that probably says a lot for how good they are, like how good cars they are and how well they last to people who can drive them. Like, people aren't driving E90s like that. That Nissan Micra had an SRI badge on it, and it definitely wasn't any kind of SRI. But yeah, everybody should buy one. I would just tell everybody, oh, what car should I get? Look for a second-hand E39 and you will not be disappointed, because like, people just throwing money away on finance on new cars. I know everybody can't be arsed with their cars breaking down and being in the garages and stuff like that, But I've just done 20,000 miles in a car that's cost me £2,000. And yes, I've did the repairs and things on it myself, but what's a radiator? It's like 100 odd euros or something for a radiator. What's a cylinder head to get skimmed? 80 euros. What's a gasket? A couple of gaskets and a couple of hoses. Do you know what I mean? We're maybe now into another 500 euros. Not even that, you know, a couple of €100 into it. And bang, we're ready to go again, and we're in the knowledge that when we opened the engine up, like the head and everything was nice and clean, and we've double cleaned it out anyway, so it's like spotless now. There's no gunk. Changed the valve stem seals also, so the head should be good for, you know, the head was good anyway, you know, this car wasn't drinking any oil or anything, so it's good to go. I'm just enjoying the fact that the temperature gauge is spot on. The temperature right now outside is 33 degrees, so that's a nice little bit of validation that my repairs seem to have worked out quite nicely. It's always nice when you get a car back together, and I'm not going to say it because I'm just touch wood. Beautiful wood interior, obviously, like, I'm not going to say it until I get back and I get the car parked up and I've driven it a few more times, but it's a good car, great car. How nice is this grey leather interior? Because one thing about these cars is this beige, they can be a bit beige inside, or they can be a bit people learn the width of your car if you're driving down country lanes. They can be a bit beige inside, or you know, they can be very beige inside, or they can be very black inside. This is a nice grey, blue-grey leather, which really suits the outside. You know, I really have a thing for this colour of interior on BMWs. Like it's like, you don't see this colour of interior anymore. You very rarely even see it in these cars, but it is a great colour. Somebody spec'd it great, and as I get older, I just love wood in cars. Like, give me wood. I saw a 996. I went to see a Carrera 6. I went to see a 996 Carrera 4S, and it was originally the owner of the Porsche franchise in Mallorca's car. It was black, it had a beige interior, but it had a wood trim. It had like every single bit of possible trim that could be walnut was walnut in it, and you know, the 996 interior is like not that shonky, but it could be the shonkiest bit of it. People are always looking for carbon spec cars with carbon inside them, or body painted. And the plastic's a bit scratchy. It marks quite easy. But this car had full, like a light walnut interior in it, and it was amazing. It was a beautiful car, but the guy wanted too much money for it. He's here, everything, people want too much money for it. And I don't even think it's like, people aren't even going to, you'd have to be a freak like me to see that interior and go, that's what I want. Be careful, egrets. That's the interior I want. Like, that's not the interior for everybody. This is good, isn't it? So somebody has painted a stop sign at the end of this road, but it's completely blocked by a tank, and I'm going to have to cross onto the wrong side of the road to exit the junction, even though it's actually blind. That was nice and safe, and there's nobody like attending it. Beautiful bit of roadworks there. But yeah. And we're just cruising through the potato fields. This isn't a car for cruising through the potato fields. You know, better than the Land Rover. One thing the Land Rover would be better for. But as a car, like, these are bumpy roads. Can you hear anything? Can you see anything? Is this car jumping around, bouncing around? Like, I'll just hit some potholes, right? It's like, it's nothing. You know, the E39 M5 gets a lot of love. People love it. People love it. Everybody remembers Tiffany Dell, you know, sliding it everywhere, top gear, fifth gear. Like that's a part of my childhood. I've always dreamed of it. That's always like stuck in your head. You get the BMW films, you get Madonna lying in the back of it while it gets to slid around. Great car, great marketing. The real high point in BMWs, like the highest point of BMWs, probably, right? You know, people say, oh, they might have done maybe the E90 and things, or more technology and things, but this car, this was the best looking, to me, still 5 Series they ever made. In the touring, in this colour, it looks amazing. People aren't going to like that. They think that this is the high point of BMW, but or maybe the V8 M3 is the high point of BMW. But outside of them cars, just like cars that do what BMW is supposed to do, a big, comfortable, fast saloon car, right? That's what a BMW should do. A BMW shouldn't be a 1 Series or what is our X5s, X3s, X1s, X2s. What is a BMW? A BMW is a big, fast, comfortable saloon car, executive saloon car, you know? Even if you're going from a Junior 3 Series to a 5 Series, and then obviously the 6 Series and the 8 Series are big coupes, but they're big, comfortable, fast cruisers, right? And then we have separate out the M division. But just in the normal BMW product line for non-M cars, this is it, you know? Doesn't have to be automatic, doesn't have to be manual, whichever you like, whichever suits you best, it's there for you, and it's there for you at a price point. And, you know, if you want a nice car to take to Cars and Coffee and stuff, like, you know, these cars are super tunable. Put a nice set of wheels, lower it. They're old enough as well that people are not going to go like, oh, look at that chunky old BMW. If you've got a nice one, you've got a nice neck cleaned up, nice wheels, lowered a little bit, people will be like, oh, wow, it's a really great condition E39. Like, and if you've got a manual saloon and it's a little bit wet, even in not even wet, but even in like a 528 manual, you can slide that round every roundabout you want, and it's the easiest car I've ever drifted in my life. It's just got the right amount of weight and momentum and wheelbase that it's like super easy to catch, it's super easy to throw about, and it's just like, oh wow, it's like well-built cars that are going to last. Like, that's a rarity. They're not around. That's not like, you're not tripping yourself over cars like that anymore, which is sad that just normal well-built cars become the rarity. Do you know what I mean?